Ghosts and Ghouls. Today, I am going to review the first 2 episodes of a new show that is a classic show that I watched growing up that has been remade. If you do not know what I am talking about DuckTales.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a Duckburg. Might solve the mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales.
Yes, we all know that theme song. It's classic. It gets trapped in your head for years. But we all know it. And I had to hear it about 8 times because my kids kept watching the rerun marathon they were having on TV. They kept playing the same 2 episodes of the new series over and over again to get people hyped. And I kind of had an accident. Straight Jacket, I wanted him to get into it. So I tried to put on a marathon of the old season, but it just kept looping the old song for 8 days straight, and I may need to get him some help soon. But yeah, I digress on this. Now, how was it? How is it compared to the old? How is it now? Now, DuckTales is a series that is about Scrooge McDuck, the richest duck in Duckburg. I don't know if I actually sounded good in that accent, but I'll go with it. And his nephews, or great-nephews actually, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Donald's nephews, and Donald is Scrooge's nephew. Now, the original series was a little more loving, a little more family. This one had a lot more action, it seemed like, and looked good. It was good. I mean, Scrooge McDuck's voice actor is not in this, I will tell you that. He died. He was originally in Mr. Ed. He wasn't Mr. Ed, he was the human that could talk to Mr. Ed. They got someone great. He is actually Scottish. They got David Tennant, the 10th Doctor and my favorite Doctor, to play Scrooge McDuck. And he put so much energy into that. It is so fun to hear him. Some other small changes they did was Huey, Dewey, and Louie don't sound the same and don't sound like Donald Duck anymore. They each have different voice actors, distinguished personalities. For instance, Huey, he's the youngest. I may be getting this all mixed up, but it'll give you the gist of the 3. He's the youngest, and he's very much by the rules. Dewey is the middle child, and he's trying to make a name for himself, trying to stand out from the other 3, and he idolizes Scrooge and wants to be the next in line to be the next Scrooge. And Louie is the evil triplet. He does not deny this. There's even a part where Webby asks, which one of you is the evil one? And they both go, Louie, and Louie just, yeah, that's true. And he is. He's the troublemaker. He's the one that makes all the messes. But he is also a bit of the more confident in himself against the other 2. And so you can tell they'll follow him. Now, Donald is obviously still like Donald. Scrooge is a little more adventurous than he was last time, but that's not bad. I do like that. Launchpad is straight up Launchpad. He is exact clone of it. And I love that. It works perfectly. The 2 biggest differences, though, are Webby and Mrs. Pleakley. Now, in the original, Mrs. Pleakley was this somewhat chubby old woman with a British accent. Webby was her granddaughter, and she's sweet and nice, and I love you, and carried a teddy bear everywhere and dressed in pink. They're not like that in this. They are the biggest changes to this series. Now, Webby is more of the triplets age. She is a little unhinged, I would say. She's a little obsessive, and she's not used to being around other people. I think that's because she was raised by Miss Pleakley, who's lived with Scrooge her whole life, and she's never really had friends, it seems like. So her first friends are the triplets, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And she is much more action-y. She's quick, she's fast, she's a little too focused on one thing at times, and knows a lot of the history of everything. I like her new design. She's a lot less cutesy wootsy, and maybe they'll have a love interest as her later because she seems to get along great with the nephews. Now, Mrs. Pleakley, on the other hand, is not the little old kind grandma. She is still British, but she looks like a tank. She is big. She is proper British, not the sweet British. She is very proper. Everything must be done right and into code. That's how she looks. That's how she sounds. And she looks like she could take on a pro wrestler. I do not joke on this. Look at her. Look at her new design. You will go, dang, she's huge. She is. She will take on anyone, I bet. I'm also thinking she doubles as Scrooge's bodyguard. But the series starts off with Donald going to a job interview and he needs a babysitter. So he calls Scrooge, basically. And you find out him and Scrooge haven't been getting along. Apparently, something happened, some kind of falling out, and they just don't like each other anymore. I don't know why yet. We'll find out later on. And Scrooge has been bored. Everything's been boring. Sitting in conferences, all this stuff. Although, when he's sitting in a conference, they do talk about, you know, how stocks are, what cities they're building in. And they mention St. Picard, which is a direct mention to Darkwing Duck. And I am hoping Darkwing Duck is going to be shown in the series at one point. I love Darkwing Duck. He is so much fun. But I'm moving too quick. I'm moving too randomly, aren't I? But the whole thing is, he watches the kids. They think they find a secret museum, and it turns out it's just his garage full of magical things. They release a ghost pirate, a headless horse, a sword that won't stop till it kills what it's targeting, and somehow targeting the ghost pirate who can't die, and a dragon that eats gold. They help him stop it, and he wants to take them on an adventure to go find Atlantis. He thinks that would be interesting and teach him some stuff. Donald, on the other hand, we see him try and get a job as an accountant, but they hire him as a seller. A seller for Scrooge's arch enemy, who claims to be he is the second richest duck in the world, and claims he wants to be the first to beat out Scrooge, and he's also mad because Scrooge is the duck that's known for being more Scottish when he's more Scottish, he claims, because he wears a frickin' kilt and has bagpipes playing in his meetings and everything. The guy's Donald, these two wolf brothers, and this falcon woman to go find Atlantis. Now, you find Atlantis with some plots and woody, funny stuff, and it's upside down. Turned out when it fell, it flipped upside down. Get some really nice, funny gags as they're trying to get through it, and Scrooge wants him to stay back, and he's going to do it, and they don't. But all in all, and they get the gem. They figure out that Jim Lockhart took, the other rich guy, was not the right gem. It was actually just a light bulb, because the whole place had flipped upside down. So the real gem they want was the one that was originally on the floor that is now upside down on the ceiling. They get it. They prove they did it, and they accidentally blow up Donald's houseboat, so he tells them they can live with him. And that's how it is, but at the end they do leave a cliffhanger, making me think there will be story arcs in this. At the end there is a picture showing Scrooge fighting some pirates, ghost pirates, Donald swinging on a rope, and part of it's ripped. Well, he folds up the ripped part, and underneath it, Huey sees a woman fighting the pirates. A woman duck. And his only reaction is, Mom? And it ends. So I'm thinking it's going to show what actually happened to the parents. Something the original never did. Now, some key differences in this is Donald is very much going to be more prevalent in this. It looks like it's going to be much more action-based, but have some nice family comedy. And it just looks good. I mean, the drawing style is a little off-putting. It looks different, but they said they were mimicking the comics, and I can see that. We haven't seen certain characters. They did mention they're going to show Gizmo Duck. They're going to show Ludwig von Duck in a flashback to when they worked in the 80s. They're going to show all kinds of stuff. And this is so well done. You can tell That doesn't make a mirror copy, and I wouldn't have been happy if they did. I would have been mad if they did. You don't want to make a mirror copy when you reboot something. If you're rebooting it, you need it to have its own touch. You need it to stand apart, and this does that very well, and I am impressed with how well it does that. You can definitely, if you loved DuckTales before, you will love this. But if you've never seen DuckTales, you will still like this. This stands on its own. You don't need to know anything about DuckTales to come in. But if you do, there are so many lovingness to it that you can tell this is a perfect redo of it. More modern, more stuff, more changes, but at the end, it still has the base guidelines. So would I suggest DuckTales? Yes, I would, but I gotta wait till I see the next episodes, because they don't come out till September. But I will hopefully be able to tell you more then. But this series was well done. The voices I liked. The drawing style was okay. I may get used to it. It's just I'm not used to it. I'm not used to seeing them look like this. But it was great. Humor was great. Action was great. I liked it. I suggest it. But I want to know what you think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think of it? Did you like the original DuckTales? And is there something else you'd like me to review? I may be doing more of these reviews. Tell me. I hope to hear back from you. This has been Warlock Boo. Hope to be spooking y'all later. Bye.